Good morning, Shabbat Shalom. It's Saturday morning, Shabbat morning. Day 2 of this new reality. I hope for those who were able to watch last night that it was a meaningful experience for you, and I know actually several of you reached out to me directly to tell me that that was the case, and it means a great deal. And I hope that for those that are watching this morning's recording that it will continue to be so. And as I said last night, while I can't change the reality, I certainly am missing to see all of your faces, that I really am holding those images of all of you, especially our Saturday morning regular crew. I'm holding all of you guys in my heart and in my mind tonight as I daven. And I hope that you got my message yesterday with information on how to access the online version of our Mishkan Tefillah, our prayer book. Anyone that has any technological challenges or questions, but you've at least been able to get this far, of course email me and I'll be happy to walk you through for next week. But we will basically treat this as we would treat our normal Shabbat morning service, and I will daven as if I have 10 people in the room, which means that it will involve a full Torah study and everything later on, perhaps with a few changes or additions, or subtractions for that matter. And otherwise, I wish you all a Shabbat Shalom, and I hope this will be a few moments of peace and reflection and respite in the way that it has been for me. So we'll begin the way that we always do, by just singing a little bit to wake ourselves up. Join with me if you can at home, and great thing about singing at home, sing as loud as you want. Yallai la 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 la, yallai la 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 la, yallai la 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 la, yallai la 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 la, yallai la la la. Shabbat Shalom. Before we get started, we'll take a few moments for ourselves, each in our own place, to just close our eyes and reflect for a few moments. So we open our eyes, let's take a deep breath in, and a deep breath out, and hold gratitude for being able to do that seemingly simple act. And we'll open up our prayer books, our Sidurim, to page 186. Should be the same number in your online version. There are usually 2 numbers at the bottom of the page, so I think it's the higher number, the blue number I think is correct. And we'll turn to page 186 as we continue this idea or thought of retaining gratitude. Even in challenging times, we always begin our service with gratitude. Page 186. Modeh ani lefanecha melechai v'kayam. Modeh ani lefanecha thanks to you, ever-living sovereign, that you have restored my soul to me in mercy. How great is your trust. Page 192, Matovu at the very top of the page. Matovu Alecha Yaakov Mishkenotecha Yisrael. Matovu Alecha Yaakov Mishkenotecha Yisrael. We turn now to page 195, and we'll read at the top of the page a blessing for our bodies. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe. With divine wisdom you have made our bodies, combining veins, arteries, and vital organs into a finely balanced network. Wondrous maker and sustainer of life, were one of them to fail, how well we are aware we would lack the strength to stand before you. Blessed are you, Adonai, source of our health and strength. Baruch atah Adonai, rofeh chol basar u'mafli la'asot. And a prayer for our souls, page 196. Elohai neshama shenatata bi tehor ha'im. Elohai neshama shenatata bi tehor ha'im. Elohai neshama shenatata bi tehorahim. Elohai neshama shenatata bi tehorahim. Elohai neshama shenatata bi tehorahim. Please join me at the bottom of the page in English. My God, the soul you have given me is pure. You created it, you shaped it, you breathed it into me, and you protect it within me. For as long as my soul is within me, I offer thanks to you, Adonai, my God and God of my ancestors, source of all creation, sovereign of all souls. Praised are you, Adonai, in whose hand is every living soul and the breath of humankind. Baruch atah Adonai, asher biyado nefesh kol chai, beruach kol besar ish. Please rise as we turn to page 198 as we celebrate the daily miracles, things we often take for granted, like for example being able to stand and to breathe and to move. Again, page 198. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lasachvi bina, lavchin ben yom uven laila. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, pokeach ivrim. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, matir asurim. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, zokef kefufim. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, rokah haaretz al hamayim. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamechin mitzadei kaver. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, malbish harumim. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hanoten layaev koach. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Hamavir shena meinai utnuma me'afapayim. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asani b'tzelem Elohim. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asani ben chorin. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asani Yisrael. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Ozer Yisrael b'gvuram. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Oter Yisrael b'tifaram. Please be seated. Water here. We're now on page 205, and chose this reading last week, and I think we're going to keep it for a while as a good reminder. On page 205, the second reading down from the top of the page. This is a blessing for the study of Torah and the truth that is Torah. From the cowardice that shrinks from new truth, from the laziness that is content with half-truths, from the arrogance that thinks it knows all truth, O God of truth, deliver us. Blessed is Adonai, teacher of Torah to your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, hamelamed Torah le'amo Yisrael. Now on page 206. Elu devarim she'ein lahem shiur, she'adam ochel pirotehem me'olam hazeh, והקרן קיימת לו לעולם הבא, ואלו הם ייבוד בהם וגמילות חסדים, והשכמת בית המדרש שחרית וערבית, והכנסת אורחים וביקור חולים, והכנסת כלה לוויית המת ועיון תפילה, ואהבת שלום בין אדם לחברו, ותלמוד תורה כנגד כולם. Please rise again if you are able as we turn to page 212 for the opening blessing of Pezukei de Zimmer. Baruch she'amar v'haya ha'olam baruch hu, baruch oseh bereshit, Baruch Omer ve'yosem, Baruch Ozer u'mekayem, Baruch merachem al ha'aretz, Baruch merachem al ha'briot, Baruch meshalem sachar tov lire'av, Baruch halad ve'kayam lanetzach, Baruch Bodeh u'matzil, Baruch Shemo, Bishvachot u'bizmirot negadelcha, u'nshabechecha nefayrecha v'naskir shimcha v'namlichecha, Malkeinu Eloheinu, Yachid chei ha'olamim, Melech meshubach u'mefo'ar deyad Shemo hagadol, Baruch atah Adonai, Melech mehulal batishvachot. We now have page 214, the second line down in Hebrew. Tov lehodot l'Adonai, Tov lehodot l'Adonai, ulezamer l'shimcha elyon. Tov lehodot l'Adonai, lehagid baboker chastecha, lehagid baboker chastecha, ve'emunatcha b'halelot, ve'emunatcha b'halelot, tov lehodot l'Adonai. Alei asur v'alei navel, alei gayon bechinor, כי שימחתני אדוני בפועלך, במעשה ידיך ארנם. מה גדלו מעשיך היה, מאוד עמקו מחשבותיך. מה גדלו מעשיך היה, מאוד עמקו מחשבותיך. Chaya Me'odam ku machshevotecha Ashrei Yoshvei Veitecha Od Yehalelucha Od Yehalelucha Ashrei Yoshvei Veitecha Od Yehalelucha Od Yehalelucha Selah Ashrei V'anachnu nevarech Yam Me'ata v'yad olam Me'ata v'yad olam Me'ata v'yad olam Hallelujah Hallelujah Hallelujah, Hallelujah, Hallelujah. Psalm 150, page 218. Hallelujah, 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 Hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 El Bekocho, Hallelujah, Berkiauzo, Hallelujah, Bigurotav, Hallelujah, Kerokulo, Hallelujah, 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 Beteka HaShofar, Hallelujah, Benevel Vechinor, Hallelujah, Betofu Machol, Hallelujah, Beminim Verugav, Hallelujah, 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 Betziatzalei Shamam, Hallelujah, Betziatzalei Truam, Kol Hanshama Tehalleliyah, Hallelujah, 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 Hallelujah. Nishmat kol chai, tevarech et shimcha Adonai Eloheinu. We're now on page 220 at the top of the page. Ilufinu maleh shira kayam שפתותינו שבח כמרחבי רקיע, ועינינו מאירות כשמש וכירח, וידינו פרוסות כנשרי שמיים, ורגלינו קלות כיעלות. אין אנחנו מספיקים להודות לך, אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ואמותינו, לברך. We're now on page 222, the second paragraph down in Hebrew. Shochenan marhum bekadosh shemo vechatu verhanenu tzadikim b'Adonai la yesharim nava tehilaham Befi Shavim Tihitalalu Divrei Tzadikim Tihitvarach Ubilshon Chasidim Tihitromamu Bekerev Kedoshim Tihitkadashuv Makehalot Rivevot Amcha Bet Yisrael Berina Yitba'ar Shimcha Malkeinu Bechol Dor Vador Yababai Yababai Bye 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 Yababai Yababai Bye Bye Yai bye bye, bye bye, bye bye, bye bye, bye. Ay bye bye, bye bye, bye. We now rise as we turn to page 223 for the concluding blessing of Pesukei de Zimra, and will remain standing through the Baruch Hu on the next couple pages. Yishtabach Shimcha La'admakeinu Ahel HaMelech HaGadol VeHaKadosh B'Shamayim u'Ba'aretz Yilecha Na'eh Adonai Eloheinu V'Elohei Avotenu Ve'imotenu Shir Shvacha Olav Zimra Ozu Memshala HaNetzach V'Edula Gvura Tila V'Tiferet Kedusha u'Malchut Brachot ve'hoda'ot me'ata v'yad olam Baruch atah Adonai el melech gadol v'tishmachot el hoda'ot Adon haniflaot abocher b'shirei zimra melech el chei ha'olamim. Page 224. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabam ve'almad yibrach pirutei ve'amlich malchutei V'chayechon v'yamechon v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael B'hagala v'zman karim v'yimeru Amen. Yesh me'rabba mevarach le'alam v'yamei almayam Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yipar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yit'aleh v'yitalal Shemei d'kudsha b'richu le'alam min kol birchata v'shirata Tushbechata v'nechemata Damirat me'alma v'imeru Amen. Barechu et Adonai HaMevorach Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed. Please be seated. We're We're going to read this morning on page 229 in English, the second reading down, and then we'll pop over to the other side of the page, 228, to sing Or Chadash, the last 3 lines in Hebrew. You are praised, who rolls out the rough, raw clay of the universe into delicate vessels of light. And from nothing at all, we could perceive in a world that had turned old a shimmering new creation right before our eyes, made this moment just for us. How much of life reveals your presence? How much Torah unfolds from each new flower, from each new wave that breaks upon the sea? You are praised, who forms from the clay that cloaks our lives the delicate vessels which contain our light. Or Chadash Al Tzion Ta'ir, Or Chadash Al Tzion Ta'ir, V'nizkechu lanu me'era le'orom, V'nizkechu lanu me'era le'orom. Yadadai bim bim bam, yadadai bim bam, yadadai bim bim bam, yadadai Yadadai bim bim bam, yadadai bim bam, yadadai bim bim bam, yadadai Baruch Atah Adonai Yotzer HaMeorahot. I turn now to page 231. We're going to read the second line, reading down from the top the same way, and then we'll shift over to page 230 and read the bottom paragraph in Hebrew, V'ha'er eini. Love your neighbor as yourself, you said. And light-blinded we saw that inner and outer worlds are one, as you are one. You spoke, and we wrote. We reached for you down the centuries, your light moving before us. As we climbed, fell back, and climbed again your Sinai of life. V'ha'erinu b'toratecha, v'dahabek libeinu b'mitzvotecha, v'yachel lehevaveinu le'ahava u'lira et shemecha, v'lo nevosh, v'lo nikalem, v'lo Shem Kodechecha Gadol v'Hanora B'Tachnu Nagila v'nismecha b'Yeshuatecha Ve'avienu l'shalom me'arba kanfot haaretz V'tolichenu kol b'miut le'artzenu, ki el poel Yeshuot ata uvanu b'chata, v'keravtanu le'shimcha, agadol sela b'emet, le'odot lecha yichetcha b'hava, Baruch Atah Adonai, Abocher b'amo Yisrael mi'avam. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Ve'ahavta Bechol levavcha, bechol nafshecha, ubechol me'odecha, ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele, asher anochi metzavcha, hayom al levavecha, ושינתם לבניך ודיברת בם, ושבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך, ושוכבך וקומך, וקשרתם להיות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. We're now on page 236. ויאמר אדוני אל משה לאמור, דבר אל בני ישראל ואמרת עליהם, ועשו להם ציצית על כנפי בגדיהם לדורותם, ונתנו על ציצית הכנף פתיל תכלת, והיה לכם לציצית, וראיתם אותו, וזכרתם את כל מצוות אדוני ועשיתם אותם, ולא תטורו אחרי לבבכם ואחרי עיניכם, אשר אתם זונים אחריהם, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם, אמת. Let's read together on page 239 at the very top of the page. And I say together, I know if you're saying it at home, then I'm saying it with you, even if we're not together. Emet, there is no place where you are not, even in the wilderness, there is your word. Emet, the pen strokes of lightning, white fire, black flame, stir the soul's passion, guide our sacred way, true and enduring as Torah. Your truth for us is certain and established now and forevermore. Like Moses, Miriam, and all Israel, we sing out and rejoice. Bye 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 bye. Ay la nay nay na nay nay nay. Tehilot le'elyon baruch hu mevorach Moshe u'Miriam u'bnei Yisrael lechanu shira b'simcha rabba ve'amru chulam mi chamocha va'elim Adonai mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh Nora tehilot osef elei. Bye 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 bye. Shira chadasha shihipchu gehulim leshimcha al svat hayam. Yachad kulam hodu vehimlichu vehameru Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed. Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed. Tzur Yisrael kuma be'ezrat Yisrael ufedei chinumecha Yehuda ve'Yisrael. Go aleinu Adonai tzvaot shemo Kedosh Yisrael. Baruch atah Adonai Gal Yisrael. You remain standing as we begin the Amidah together on page 242 and then continue silently. Please go at your own pace, and when you're finished, you may be seated. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi agi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. I've given you at home ample time to complete your silent Amidah, and if not, please continue on as you are doing. But if you are finished, you'll remain standing if you're able as we turn to page 324 for our repetition of the Amidah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibur v'Hanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim V'Koneh Hakol V'Zocher Chasdei Avot V'Imaot ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם למען שמו באהבה מלך עוזר מושיע ומגן ברוך אתה אדוני מגן אברהם לעזרת שרה אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני מחיה מתים אתה רב להושיע משיב הרוח ומרעיד הגשם מחכה חיים בחסד מחיי מתים ברחמים רבים סומך נופלים ורופא חולים ומתיר אסורים ומקיים אמונתו לישני עפר מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומדומה לך נלך ממית ומחיה ומהצמיח ישועה ונאמן אתה לחיות מתים ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי המתים. Page 326. נקדש את שמך בעולם כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמי מרום ככתוב על יד אביך וקרא זה אל זה ואמר קדוש 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 אדוני צבאות מלוך הארץ כבודו אדיר אדירנו אדוני אדוננו מאדיר שמך בכל הארץ ברוך כבוד אדוני ממקומו אחד הוא אלוהינו הוא אבינו מלכנו הוא מושיענו והוא ישמיענו ורחמיו לעיני כל חי אני אדוני אלוהיכם ימלוך אדוני לעולם אלוהיך ציון לדור ודור Hallelujah. Ledor vador, ledor vador, ledor vador, nagid God lecha. Ledor vador, ledor vador, ledor vador, nagid God lecha. Ulenetzach netzachim, kedushatcha nakdish. קדושתך נקדיש ושבחך אלוהינו מפינו לא ימוש לעולם לעולם ועד ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש. Please be seated at home. We're on page 329 at the very top, celebrating the joy that is Shabbat. ישמחו במלכותך שומרי 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 שבת וקורא עונג שבת ישמחו במלכותך שומרי 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 שבת וקורא עונג שבת מקדשי מקדשי שבי שבת כולם יספעו ויתענגו מטובך שבת ישמחו במלכותך שומרי 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 שבת וקורא עונג שבת ישמחו במלכותך. שומרי 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 שבת וקורא עונג שבת. והשביעי רצית בו וקידשתו שבת. חמדת ימים אותו קראת שבת. ישמחו במלכותך. שומרי 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 שבת וקורא עונג שבת. ישמחו במלכותך. שומרי 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 שבת וקורא עונג שבת. זכר למעשה בראשית שבת. זכר למעשה בראשית שבת. ישמחו במלכותך. שומרי 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 שבת וקורא עונג שבת. אלוהינו אלוהי אבותינו ואמותינו רצה רצה במנוחתנו. קדשנו במצוותיך ותן חלקנו בתורתך. סבנו מטובך ושמחנו בישועתך. וטהר ליבנו לעבדך באמת להנחילנו. אדוני אלוהינו עיני ילני באהבה ורצון שבת קודשך וינוחו בישראל מקדשי שמך. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. Please be seated at home. We're on page 330 as we read together in English in the middle of the page. On this Shabbat day, as you graciously receive our prayers, help us to hear your call. Grant us enough health to fulfill our duties and the compassion we need to attend to others. Teach us humility that we may perceive our own faults, and grant us the wisdom to be forgiving of others. Give us the courage to be true to our highest selves and the charity to see the best in those around us. Give us patience enough not to become discouraged, hope enough to overcome all fears for the future, and faith enough to know your presence. O source of blessing, look with favor upon us. May our offerings be acceptable to you. Baruch atah Adonai, she'otcha levatcha bira na'avod. We turn now to page 332, beginning at the bottom of the page and then continuing on to the next in English. We'll read together, or I'll read, and you can read at home with me, each of these paragraphs, and together at the end of the paragraph we say the words Modim anachnu lach, that we are offering our gratitude, our thanks to God for each of these groupings of gifts that are given to us regularly in our lifetime. For the expanding grandeur of creation, worlds known and unknown, galaxies beyond galaxies, filling us with awe and challenging our imaginations. Modim anachnu lach. For this fragile planet Earth, its times and tides, its sunsets and seasons, Modim anachnu lach. For the joy of human life, its wonders and surprises, its hopes and achievements, Modim anachnu lach. For human community, our common past and future hope, our oneness transcending all separation, our capacity to work for peace and justice in the midst of hostility and oppression, Modim anachnu lach. For high hopes and noble causes, for faith without fanaticism, for understanding of views not shared, Modim anachnu lach. For all who have labored and suffered for a fairer world, who have lived so that others might live in dignity and freedom, Modim anachnu lach. For human liberties and sacred rights, for opportunities to change and grow, to affirm and choose, Modim anachnu lach. We pray that we may live not by our fears, but by our hopes, not by our words, but by our deeds. Baruch atah Adonai, atov shimcha u'lechana'ed lehodot. And now prayer for peace, page 334. Sim shalom tova uvracha chen v'chesed v'rachamim v'rachamim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol Yisrael ha'amecha Barcheinu yotzreinu kulanu kechad ve'or panecha Ki ve'or panecha natata lanu Adonai Eloheinu Sim shalom tova uvracha chen v'chesed v'rachamim v'rachamim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol Yisrael ha'amecha Torah chaim ve'ahavat chesed ve'ahavat chesed u'tzedaka u'veracha berachamim ve'chaim ve'shalom Sim shalom tova uvracha chen v'chesed v'rachamim v'rachamim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol Yisrael ha'amecha ve'tov beinecha levarech et amcha Yisrael bechol eit u'bechol sham bishlomecha Sim shalom tova uvracha chen v'chesed v'rachamim v'rachamim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol Yisrael ha'amecha Baruch atah Adonai ha'mevarech et amo Yisrael v'shalom. Let's read together on the bottom of page 336, a meditation at the end of our Amidah. I need strength, humility, courage, patience. Strength to control my passions, humility to assess my own worth, courage to rise above defeats, patience to cleanse myself of imperfections, and wisdom to learn and live by our sacred teachings. Let me not be discouraged by my failings. Let me take heart from all that is good and noble in my character. Keep me from falling victim to cynicism. Teach me sincerity and enthusiasm. Endow me with perception and courage that I may serve others with compassion and love. Oseh shalom bimromav, uyaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol Yehoshvei Tevel, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. So we now turn to page 362 and we'll rise, and as I said, we'll do a full Torah service as if all of you were right here with me. And again, page 362. Ein kamocha v'Elohim Adonai v'ein kemasecha malchutcha malchut kol olamim u'memshaltecha bechol dor v'ador Adonai melech Adonai mahalach Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed Adonai yahos lemo yiten Adonai yevarech et amo v'shalom Avarachamim eitiva v'ertzoncha Zion. Tibnei Chomot Yerushalayim, Ki Mecha Levad Matachnu, Melech El Ram Benisa, Adon Olamim. Ki Mitzion Tetzei Torah, Ki Mitzion Tetzei Torah, Udevar Adonai MiYerushalayim, Baruch Shenatan Torah Torah, Baruch Shenatan Torah Torah Le'amo Yisrael V'Kedushato. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Echad Eloheinu Gadol Adonenu Kadosh Shemo. Gadol Adonai iti Yehuneru mima Shemo Yachdav. Lecha Adonai hagedula v'hagevura v'hatiferet v'hanetzach v'hahon ki chol b'shamayim u'ba'aretz ki chol b'shamayim u'ba'aretz Lecha Adonai הממלכה והמתנשא לכל ראש. רוממו אדוני אלוהינו והשתחוו להר קודשו. רוממו אדוני אלוהינו והשתחוו להר קודשו. Okay, if you're at home, please be seated. So this morning, we conclude the reading of the book of Exodus, and we will remember at the end of my reading this morning, we will say the words Chazak, Chazak, Benit Chazek, right? Reminding ourselves that we will be strengthened even while we are finishing this one part of the Torah. We continue on as we always do, and it's a perfect metaphor for this time. And we never stop reading the Torah, even under circumstances that are well beyond our control. We look to our tradition as our strength, and we continue to draw strength from each other, even when we are not able to be physically close, as I was talking about last night. And I hope that through this process, that we will in fact be strengthened as humanity. And that leads me really right into my discussion for this morning from Parshat Vayakel Pekudei, the double portion that ends the book of Exodus and brings to a conclusion the really, as I described at its beginning, the sort of five parshas that conclude the book of Exodus that all relate to each other in one form or the other. The description of the building of the Mishkan, the actual building of the Mishkan itself, the golden calf that is the middle point between these two realities, and also the requirements, the expectations, the necessities, the challenges, the overcomings of this building of this remarkable Mishkan, this tabernacle, this sanctuary in the desert, this resting place of God's presence. And as I talked about for the last couple of weeks, this whole section has taken on a very new me in a lot of ways that I did not expect. And this week's Parsha really actually has something I think quite powerful to teach us, but perhaps in a slightly unexpected way. So I want to start not in Torah, but here in Sag Harbor, and something that that occurred to me really yesterday, the day before. So as many of you have experienced this yourselves out here, wherever you might be, most likely you're experiencing this to some degree. So I went to Scaboni's, to our local supermarkets the other night to try and get some basic groceries for me and Lou and Eva. And even though I had been told, and I had seen a little bit at King Cullen that many of the shelves were bare, much of the food being gone, I still went in with a certain naivete, probably, that perhaps it would be a little bit different, and surely It wasn't completely devoid of food. There was still food of various kinds, still produce. But certainly it was the first time in my life that I can recall in which I walked into a supermarket unsure and proven correct that I was going to be able to find the food that I expected to be there, that I wanted to bring home for us as a family. And it really struck me and occurred to me that my entire life, every day of my life, I have been blessed with the idea that I am secure in the food that I need to eat to survive. That obviously I can make plenty of overweight jokes about myself at the moment, but in all seriousness, I've never gone hungry a day in my life. Right? Even on Yom Kippur, even on Tisha B'Av, even on days in which we're commanded to fast, there's always the knowledge that that day will end and I will be able to go down to the corner and to be able to find the food to eat. And it's a remarkably humbling experience to realize that while again, I'm not going hungry, neither is anybody that I know of in the area. We are simply adjusting to the fact that we may not be able to get some of the staple things that we expect. But certainly that we are lacking in a way that we took for granted up until very, very recently. And I'll speak in the way that I took for granted. And what an unbelievably powerful connection that is to those who wake up every single day in this country and around the world and have for perhaps their entire life unsure where their next meal is going to come from, unsure if there is going to be fresh produce, to be meat to eat, all of the things, again, eggs, milk, the staples of life, the things that we expect to be there. And of course, in our particular circumstance, the reason why there isn't food is largely because, not exclusively, but largely because many of us in our community, perhaps not us ourselves, but perhaps more than we may realize, bought and purchased over the last week, not 1 week's worth of food, not 2 weeks' worth of food, but a month's worth of food, or perhaps more than a month's worth of food. Most likely, again, out of fear, out of concern for self, out of concern for family, out of concern for the idea that that food may not be there tomorrow or the next day or the week after. And therefore we need to take everything that we possibly can, everything we can get into our hands and fit into our cars, into our freezers, into our refrigerators, to take everything that we possibly can so that we ourselves will be protected and as prepared as possible in this really challenging time. And while it's very easy for us to pick up the stones to throw, and I hope that we are not necessarily of those who abused this to the greatest degree, I'm sure that each one of us in our way took perhaps one more thing than we might normally, two more things than we might normally. We normally get maybe 1 carton of milk, we got 2. 1 thing of toilet paper, we got 2. Yes, there is an extreme for sure, but I think if we're honest with ourselves, every one of us is acting with a certain amount of scarcity mentality, and I think it's fair to say that that's understandable to a great degree. Right? We're all scared, we're all concerned, we're all not sure if there in fact will be anything in the store tomorrow, and we don't want to be the ones on the outside in the cold if that's the case. But the real question that's at the basis of this, and the real way that this connects to our Parsha, is the question of determining, what is enough? When do we have enough? When is it that we should be able to simply say that we can turn it off, right? That we don't need a month's worth, we don't need 3 weeks' worth, we don't need so much that in fact the food will rot in our fridges, on our freezers, on our counters, and our pantries, while others perhaps don't have. We must ask ourselves fundamentally, what does it mean to know that there is enough? So we get a teaching about that from this week's Parsha in a slightly surprising way, and perhaps not in the way that we might expect. And we're going to begin reading at the end of chapter 35. So if you're able to follow along on Reform Judaism website or any website that has access to Torah text, we're looking for verse 30 of chapter 35 to 36, and really going all the way through verse 7. So I just want to give us the end of chapter 35 as a bit of context, a bit of reminder about what's going on, about the builders of the Mishkan, in particular the architect, the foreman, and then ultimately speaking about the donation part of building, right? What was necessary in order to collect and to put together and to logistically plan all of the material that was necessary to build the Mishkan. So it says in verse 30 of chapter 35, And Moses said to the Israelites, "See, the Eternal has singled out by name Bezalel, son of Uri, son of Hur, of the tribe of Judah, endowing him with a divine spirit of skill, ability, and knowledge in every kind of craft, and inspiring him to make designs for work in gold, silver, and copper, to cut stones for setting and to carve wood, to work in every kind of designer's craft, and to give directions. He and Oholiab, son of Achisamach, of the tribe of Dan, have been endowed with the skill to do any work of the carver, the designer, the embroiderer in blue, purple, crimson yarns, and in fine linen, and of the weaver as workers in all crafts and as makers of all designs. Let then Bezalel and Oholiab and all the skilled persons whom the Eternal has endowed with skill and ability to perform expertly all the tasks connected with the service of the sanctuary and to carry out all that the Eternal has commanded." Right? So we have Bezalel from the tribe of Judah, we have Oholiab from the tribe of Dan, right? The mightiest tribe and the lowliest tribe working together. We see that God has imbued them, even though they were already talented artisans, that they have been given this extra worldly, this divine inspiration to be able to do everything and to build everything and to do it with a certain amount of wisdom and a certain amount of love. So the text continues. We're now in verse 2 of chapter 36. Moses then called Bezalel and Oholiab and every skilled person whom the Eternal had endowed with skill, everyone who excelled in ability, to undertake the task and carry it out. They took over from Moses all the gifts that the Israelites had brought to carry out the tasks connected with the service of the sanctuary. But when these continued to bring freewill offerings to him morning after morning, all the artisans who were engaged in the task of the sanctuary came from the task upon which each one was engaged, and said to Moses, "The people are bringing more than is needed for the task entailed in the work that the Eternal has commanded to be done." The people are bringing more than is necessary. And Moses thereupon had the proclamation made throughout the camp, "Let no man or woman make further effort towards gifts for the sanctuary." So the people stopped bringing. Their efforts had been more than enough for all the tasks to be done. So as I said, the teaching this morning is perhaps not what we expect because it's from the other direction, right? The Torah is showing us that, right, the building of the Mishkan is especially in contrast to the building of the golden calf, which was built in a rage of emotions, in so much of a way that the Israelites are literally tearing the jewelry out of their ears in order to build it, right? Driven by the baser of our instincts. And the Mishkan, its exact inverse, is one that's, again, built with patience, with wisdom, with love, with divine inspiration, with the imbuing of the Eternal, right? All of these things in direct contrast. And what we see here, right, is a story in which everybody is so connected, so motivated to contribute that they just keep bringing what they can. They bring even more than they can. And up into a point until finally we're told, you know what? We actually have enough. We have enough. Everybody has been so generous. Everybody has given of themselves, both of their material and of their person and their ability, that we can actually stop and say, it's been enough. We should be thankful for what we have now. We have what we need. Let us build together. And I think that's the teaching in itself. And it may seem simple, but actually it's rather complicated. Whether we're talking about in the affirmative, right, as in we have enough and we should be sated, or in the negative, which is to say that, right, what we saw recently and we are seeing probably day in and day out now and probably will for the next time being is this other mentality, which is we don't have enough. We don't have enough, and because we don't have enough, we are going to put aside all consideration for others. We're going to put aside all consideration for what is just or right, and we're going to do what we need, or at least what our emotions are telling us that we need right now, which is a sense of security and knowing that we have everything that we need. But it's much harder to know when to say to stop when it comes to the sense of lack. There is no sense of a point in which we can say that we really have everything that we need. We as human beings really struggle with this idea. There's always a desire for more of something, more land, more money, more food, more safety, more for me, less for other. And I think we are at a place right now where this exact idea is really at the essence of how we are going to respond to this true catastrophe in our time. Or we can continue to operate in a scarcity mentality and to say, the only thing that matters is me and my own, and even if I have a small consideration for everyone else, in the end, in the balance of the scales, it doesn't matter when it really is compared to me and the things that matter most to me. And again, I said that at the beginning that most of this is actually, from a rational standpoint, understandable, simply because we love our loved ones the most. We love ourselves, I hope, the most. We care about those closest to us, and less, by definition, of those we don't know, or those that are in our proximity but we've never had occasion to care about. And my worry is that if we continue to operate in this fashion, we will come to a point, in fact, in which we have the opposite problem of what the Torah is describing. Right? We will have taken so much because we were not able to say we have enough, that finally we will run out and all of us will suffer as a result of it. The reality is that the scarcity that we're seeing is not because of a lack of supply. It's simply a matter of the fact that almost everyone out here has bought more than they normally would buy in the normal time frame. And so we have taken and we have taken and we have taken, and I hold my hand up to say I'm no different than anyone else. I don't have, 60 things of toilet paper in my house, nor do I have multiple freezers stocked with food. But I perhaps bought 2 boxes of pasta where I would have normally bought 1, 2 crates of eggs instead of the one that I normally would have gotten. All of us are in this struggle. Every one of us must be honest with ourselves and say, what did we do this past week? Was it right? And if not, we have a chance to correct ourselves, as our ancestors had a chance to correct themselves after the golden calf. We can control our emotions, we can control our irrationality, we can control our scarcity mentality. It requires a tremendous amount of faith that the system will not let us down and that the food will continue to flow and we will have access to it. But we must find some way to be considering of those around us that are not us. We must make sure that nobody in this circumstance, especially this circumstance, needs to go to sleep hungry or concerned that they won't be able to find food tomorrow. I think this question of what is enough is enough to sustain us, to make sure that tomorrow and the next day that we are safe and secure. And if it's good enough for us, it should be good enough for everyone else. So I think our Torah teaching this morning is let's be more like the Israelites building the Mishkan than the Israelites building the golden calf. Let's know when to say that it's been enough. Let's celebrate what it is that we have. Let's draw closer to our God and to each other in the process. And may we, chazak v'nitchazek, may we be strengthened through this process, not diminished. And with that, I wish you all a Shabbat Shalom. So for our Torah reading this morning, 1 or 2 caveats. One is, of course, I don't have aliyahs to give out to many, so normally we would read 10 or more verses spread out over 3 aliyahs. This morning we'll read 1 aliyah done by me with a little bit more than 10 verses. The other piece is that I don't have my gabais or gabayits, my helpers, to keep me on task. I simply have my cheat sheet, my notes here to my left, which I will do my very best to read as best as I can. I will channel Howard as best as I can by my side, and I hope that you will follow along. And again, we're going to be at the end of chapter 35, beginning with verse 30, going all the way through chapter 36, I believe through verse 7 or 8. And so first I will... Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMorach, Baruch Adonai HaMorach le'olam va'ed, Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol hamim, v'natan lanu et Torato, Baruch Ata Adonai noten HaTorah. Amen. Vayomer Moshe el bnei Yisrael, Re'u kara Adonai b'shem Betzalel ben Uri ben Chor lemate Yehuda, וימלא אותו רוח אלוהים בחוכמה בתבונה ובדעת ובכל מלאכה ולחשוב מחשבות לעשות בזהב ובכסף ובנחושת ובחורשת אבן למלא ובחרושת עץ לעשות בכל מלאכת מחשבות ולהורות נתן בליבו ואוהליו בן אחיסמך למטה דן מילא אותם חוכמת לב לעשות כל מלאכת חרש וחושב ורוקם בתכלת ובארגמן בתולת השני ובשש והורג עשה כל מלאכה בחושבי מחשבות ועשה בצלאל ואוהליו וכל איש חכם לב אשר נתן אדוני חוכמה ותבונה בהמה לדעת לעשות את כל מלאכת עבודה הקודש לכל אשר ציווה אדוני. ויקרא משה אל בצלאל ואל אוהליו ואל כל איש חכם לב אשר נתן אדוני חוכמה בליבו כל אשר נשאו ליבו לקרבה אל המלאכה לעשות אותם. ויקחו מלפני משה את כל התרומה אשר הביאו בני ישראל למלאכת עבודת הקודש לעשות אותם, והם הביאו כל החכמים העושים את כל מלאכת הקודש איש איש ממלאכתו אשר המה עושים. ויאמרו אל משה לאמור מרבים העם להביא מידי העבודה למלאכה אשר ציווה אדוני לעשות אותם. ויצב משה ויעבירו כל בהם במחנה לאמור איש או אישה אל יעשו עוד מלאכה לתרומת הקודש. ויקלע העם מהביאים והמלאכה הייתה דיים לכל המלאכה לעשות אותה והותר. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר נתן ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר נתן לנו תורת אמת וחיי עולם נטע בתוכנו. ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה. Amen. And we say chazak, chazak, v'nitchazek. Strength, strength, and may we be strengthened. together. So at this point, I'll ask those at home to please rise if you are able. I'll do Hagbah Galila as best as I'm able on my own. Page 374, if I recall. Vezot HaTorah asher sa Moshe lifnei bnei Yisrael al pi Adonai v'yahad Moshe. Torah, 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 tziva lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 tziva lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 tziva lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 tziva lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 tziva lanu Moshe. And while we still have our Torah in our midst, we'll take a moment before we read our Haftarah to offer our Mishaberach, our prayer for healing, which of course, in addition to those on our regular Mishaberach list, those that we would normally say names out loud, which I will invite you to either say them out loud at home or to hold the people you were thinking of in your hearts. Certainly anyone who would like to, who normally would be here to read the names, if you want to email me your list, I'll certainly add them to our normal list and read that as we do. And of course, to add the world to this Mishaberach as well, to many people who we do not know, both in this country, in the state, in the world, who are suffering really right at this moment. Some who are at a point in which, in fact, there may not be a chance of healing. And so all of us are really holding each other in this way, in a very powerful kind of way. And as I spoke about last night with Rabbi Greenberg's teaching, the teaching from Brachot, from Talmud, which tells us that our greatest efficacy in our prayer is when we join together in those words. And I think, obviously, in this moment in time, we're not together in a physical sense, but if every one of us, where we are watching this, is really praying hard for healing, for our world to heal, and then we go out and we, well, not go out, we stay home and think about the ways in which we can help to heal by actually pulling back a little bit. That all of us have a role to play in this, and one of the important roles is that of prayer. So I invite you, as I said, at home to think of those closest to you, and we'll turn in our prayer books to page 371 to offer our Mishaberach. Mishaberach Avotenu ve'imotenu Avraham, Yitzchak ve'Yaakov, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, Leah, u'yivarech et hacholim ha'elu. And we think first of those in our community and connected to our community in need of healing. Neil Fagan, Judy Stern, Miriam Cornfield, Roz Brody, Chana Ruth Bat Sarah, Marlise Silverberg, Louis Davidson, Susan Spruce, Fagel Tzipora Bat Elisheva Bat Sarah, Richard Gambino, Morris Dickstein, Michelle Sawicki, Idel Basha Bat Yitzchak, Tzvi Menachem Ben Chaim, Rivka Bat Devora, Lydia Dworkin, Amy and Gavin Tucker, Janice Kurz, David Dowling, Neil Elliott and Eileen Rosen, Israel Ben Yitzchak, Ben Sion Ben Moshe, Lorraine Danis, Buddy Kosoff, Shelley Newmark, David Kyle Klotman, Rivka Bat Rachel, Sarah Bat Chana, Moshe Eliezer Ben Sivia, Peretz Ben Yehuda, and Leah Bat Naomi. And if you're thinking of anyone, again, just hold them in your hearts, or say their names out loud where you are. HaKadosh Baruch Hu Yimalei Rachamim Alehem Lahachalimam L'Rapotam L'Chazikam V'Yishlach Lehem Mehera Refuah Shlema Min HaShamayim Refuat HaNefesh Refuat HaGuf Hashta B'Agalav Zman Karib Ben Omar. Amen. May the one who blessed our ancestors Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal those who are suffering. May the Blessed Holy One be filled with compassion for their health to be restored and their strength to be revived. May God swiftly send them a complete renewal of body and spirit, and let us say together, Amen. El na refana, el na refana, el na refana, refuah shelema, el na refana lo, refuah shelema. And now our Haftarah for this morning, which comes from the first book of Kings. It is the Haftarah for Vayakel, depending on the year. When there's a double portion, you do for one or for the other. If you happen to have a plowed chumash at home, it's on page 625. Otherwise, online you would be looking for, again, the Haftarah for Parshat Vayakel, which should be available on the website I sent on reformedjudaism.org or .com. I forget which one it is. And certainly at home, one of the advantages, you can pause right now to make sure you have what you need in front of you before we continue. So again, that would be page 625. And if you're trying to find your own Chumash at home, it's 1 Kings chapter 7, verses 40 to 50. Again, 1 Kings chapter 7, verses 40 to 50. And first we will join together in the blessing, page 372 in our prayer books. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar b'nviim tovim, v'ratza b'divrehem hanemarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai, abocher b'torah u'moshe avdo, u'Yisrael amo b'nviei ha'emet v'tzedek. King Hiram also made the pots, the shovels, and the basins for the temple. And with that, Hiram finished all the work he was doing for Solomon in the house of the Eternal. The 2 columns, the 2 bowl-shaped capitals on top of the columns, and the 2 pieces of network to cover the bowl-shaped capitals. The 400 pomegranates for the pieces of lattice work, 2 rows of pomegranates for each lattice work to cover the 2 rounded capitals on top of the columns. The 10 stands and the 10 pots that stood upon them, the tank with the 12 oxen supporting it, and the pots, shovels, and basins. All these articles that Hiram made for King Solomon in the house of the Eternal were of polished bronze. The king had them cast on the plain of Jordan between Sukkot and Zeratan in clay molds. There were so many articles that Solomon left them unweighed, so the weight of the bronze was never determined. King Solomon also made all the articles that were used in the house of the Eternal. The golden altar, the table that held the loaves of God's presence, also of gold. The lampstands of pure gold that stood in front of the inner sanctuary, 5 on the right and 5 on the left, with their gold flowers, lamps, and tongs. And the pure gold cups, lamp snuffers, bowls, ladles, and fire pans, and the gold hinges for the doors of the innermost room of the temple, the Holy of Holies, and for the golden doors of the main hall of the temple. We're back in our prayer books, page 372, blessing after the Haftarah. Please join with me at home if you're able. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, sur kol haolamim, tzadik bechol hadorot, ha'el ha'neman ha'omer v'yoseh, hamdaber u'mkayem, shekol devarav emet v'tzedek, al haTorah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al הנביאים ועל יום השבת הזה, שנתת לנו אדוני אלוהינו, לקדושה ולמנוחה, לכבוד ותפארת. על הכל אדוני אלוהינו, אנחנו מודים לך ומברכים אותך, יתברך שמך בפי כל חי, תמיד לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. Amen. So before we return the Torah to the Ark, we're going to offer a prayer first for our country and then for the state of Israel. Prayer for our country is in our prayer books on page 376 at the very bottom of the page. O guardian of life and liberty, may our nation always merit your protection. Teach us to give thanks for what we have by sharing it with those who are in need. Keep our eyes open to the wonders of creation and alert to the care of the earth. May we never be lazy in the work of peace, and may we honor those who have died in defense of our ideals. Grant our leaders wisdom and forbearance. May they govern with justice and compassion. Help us all to appreciate one another and to respect the many ways that we may serve you. May our homes be safe from affliction and strife, and our country be sound in body and spirit. And together we say, Amen. And a prayer for the state of Israel, page 377. Avinu Shabashamayim Tzur Yisrael v'Goalo Barech et Medinat Yisrael Reshit Tzmichat Geulatenu. Again aleha be'evrat chastecha ufros aleha sukat shlomecha. Ushlach orcha v'amitcha l'rasheha sareha v'yoatzeha. V'tatnem be'etzah tova milfanecha. V'natata shalom ba'aretz. V'simchat olam liyoshveha v'nomar. Amen. O Heavenly One, Protector and Redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love, spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there. Amen. And we'll remain standing as we turn to page 374 to return the Torah to the ark. Yehallelu et Shem Adonai, v'nizkav Shemo levado, Odo al eretz v'shamayim, v'yarem keren li'amo, tehila lechol chasidav, libnei Yisrael am kerovo. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Ki lekatov natati lachem, Torati al tazohu. Eitz chaim hi, lama chazikim ba, v'tom cheha meushar. Darchei Noam v'chol netivoteha shalom ashiveinu Adonai elecha ben hashuva Kadesh Kadesh Yameinu Kadesh Yameinu Kekedem. We remain standing as we turn to page 586 at the bottom of the page. Aleinu l'shabeach. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, latet gedula liotzer breshit, shelo asanu keoye al ratzot, ולא שמענו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגור עלינו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד. We now turn to page 598. Next week we will return to being able to read our regular yahrzeit lists, but I invite all of you, whether you are saying Kaddish in the first 11 months after passing, or remembering a loved one on this yahrzeit, this anniversary of their passing, to just take a moment to say their name aloud, to conjure an image of them in your heart, and for those who are saying Kaddish to join with me on page 598 in remembering and honoring their memory. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'yalma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayichon uv'yomechon uv'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, b'agala v'zman kariv v'yimru Amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevarach le'olam milamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei d'chudsha berichu. Leila min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shalom araba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'imrumav, v'yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Zichronam livracha, may every one of their memories be for a blessing. Okay, at this point, normally we would do announcements. So obviously our standard announcements are not quite in the same vein as they would have been otherwise. But the main announcement is to take care of yourselves, take care of your loved ones, to remember to be in touch if there is anything that we can do, spiritual or otherwise. You know how to reach me, I hope. And we will continue to do our services in this way with recordings that will be available hopefully on the exact times in which the service would normally begin. And we very much hope that by next week we will have the live streaming capability, so we will actually be doing this together apart. And in the meanwhile, as I said, follow instructions, stay at home as much as you possibly can. Don't give up faith, there will be food. But remember, as I said earlier, try and consider the idea that we are all sharing what is available. And to be thoughtful and to ask yourself the question, you know, when have I got enough for what I need? And to be able to step back from that place. So, with that, we're going to conclude our service with Adon Olam first on page 625, and then Kiddush to celebrate the sweetness and the joy that is Shabbat. So join me at page 625, Adon Olam. Adon Olam Asher Malach B'terem Kol Yetzir Nivra Li'et Nasa B'chefza Kol Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Ve'acharet Kichlot HaKol Levado Yimloch Noram Ve'hu Haya Ve'hu Over Ve'hu Yeh Betifara Ve'hu Echad V'yein Shenim Lehamshilo Lehachbira Beli Reshit, Beli Tachlit, Velo Haoz, Vehamisra, Vehu Elim, Vechai Goalim, Vetzor Chevli, Betzahara, Vehu Nisi, Umanosli, Menat Kosi, Beyom Ekra, Beyadom, Afkid Ruchim, Beit Ishan ve'ahiram ve'imruchi gebiati Adonai li ve'lo niram. Shabbat Shalom. So I'm just going to run and get a small glass of wine and we'll do Kiddush together on page 604. So I'll give you a second to find your Kiddush cup and give me a second to come right back. Okay. And page 604. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם אותי לעולם ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם hashvi, Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash, Veshamru Bnei Israel et ha-Shabbat, Lasot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Al ken beirach Adonai et yom ha-Shabbat vayikadsheu savri l'chaim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Amen. Well, if you have a glass of Shlivovitz at home, Howard will be very happy to hear that. But no matter where you are, I hope that the rest of this Shabbat will be sweet for you and for your loved ones, as sweet as it can be under the circumstances. But this is a time to hold each other tight, so long as you're in the same household already, and just take care of each other. And also, for what it's worth, I'll make a pitch. Now is a great time to dive into your Judaism. There are so many wonderful opportunities to learn, and so many great rabbis, teachers, educators, institutions that are doing everything they can to put as much as they can online. If for any reason you have trouble accessing those things, or you don't even know where to begin looking, email me and I'll point you towards the stuff that I'm really enjoying and trying to learn from. And we will continue on this path until we are returned, we hope, to health and safety and security. And I hope very much that that these experiences of praying together, apart, are meaningful for you as they are for me. Shabbat Shalom.